I want to start with, what is your message to voters, especially Republican voters, as they're going into this primary?
I guess my biggest message is, you know, we're in the mess that we're in today because many don't get involved in politics. We kind of hold our nose. We go vote. We vote for the lesser of the two evils, and then we expect there to be a different outcome. Welcome to communism. Welcome to everything that's happening in this state and this country today. And if we truly want to get back to some of the roots of what this great country was built on, we have to be involved. And I don't really care where you live, whether it's in a rural area, suburbia, metro. We need to come together as one people. We need to start having some tough conversations, and we need to work for everybody. Our politicians, they pick out blocks of people and try to do certain things for certain communities, and they're always thinking down the road of, I'll have this block of voters. Well, I'm just tired of the politicians and the mentality that we can't work for everybody. We're going to work for who will put us back into this seat the next go around. So that's the great thing about a Joe Blystone campaign or administration. I'm not looking for a career. I have a career. I love feeding cows. And I'm looking to go in and break the mold of politics and make it work for every individual in this state again, because it's broken. We have a broken system, and we're not working for the people anymore.
Some studies have shown Ohio has fallen short of many other states in terms of economic recovery after the pandemic. Why do you think that is, and what would you want Ohio to do differently?
Well, I guess the biggest thing is we have to change policy. To prosper business to come into this state, we're going to have to change our tax policy. We rank 45th in the country in business tax friendliness. The only businesses that move into this state are the big conglomerates that we roll out the red carpet for, and we actually pay them to come here. So it's off the backs of the working class folks. As we know, we are taxed to death in this state. We have an $80 billion budget. Florida has an $88 billion budget, but they house twice as many residents as the state of Ohio, which makes no sense at all. So, we need to make some common sense policy changes in Columbus that will work for the people. It will incentivize businesses to move into this state. And we got to get people off their tail ends, generational welfare, for example. We need to push people to go to work. And the way the system is designed, that single mother that has two children, she wants to go to work, but she's not able to because she knows if she goes to work, she's going to lose every single benefit given to her. And because she's not going to be able to make the money, she's going to have to try to find housing, and she won't have the benefits. So we have to restructure it so it does prop her up to be successful. It does prop her up to go to work, but yet there is still a little bit of monies on the back end that helps her get through. And it's just not built like that. We are tying the hands of folks that they have to stay on welfare because they can't afford to get off of it and actually live and house themselves.
You and Jim Renacci and Ron Hood have built a lot of your campaigns for governor around how the DeWine administration failed in the pandemic and how the DeWine administration handled the pandemic as you view it. DeWine has said he tried to follow the science and best information that was available while balancing safety and people's livelihoods, that he pushed for schools to open, set rules for businesses that other states have now copied. And he says Ohio has come out of the pandemic strong and we're moving forward. Do you agree?
No, I do not agree. I mean, man, it's a big failure, the pandemic. The governors or the government's job is not to come in and say, you know, you running this business, you're closing. Well, you big Walmart conglomerate, well, you can stay open. That's okay. You're going to have record profits this year. And that's exactly what they did. They threw mud at the wall to see if it would stick. And what a mess. Many mom and pop shops all over this state. I go into some of these little towns and they've been decimated. Many mom and pop shops, they never opened again, you know. And when they tried to open, then they were dealing with, they couldn't find anybody to work because the government was paying these folks more to sit at home and do nothing. So it was a big failure. And also the fact that this state bought $600,000 worth of hydroxychloroquine that, you know, where's it at? Sitting in some warehouse somewhere, I guess, that was never used. And it's scientifically proven, it's been used in third world countries, sold over the counter, that it is a viable pharmaceutical that could be used for COVID, but yet they restricted, do not fill that prescription. And also ivermectin. Ivermectin has been used in the Amish communities again for decades. And here we go. We're going to restrict these pharmaceuticals that are proven, and people died. People died because of this man, the way he managed the pandemic.
There are a lot of studies that indicate that ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine were not effective, especially most recently, but I want to move on here. The Intel deal will likely be the biggest economic development project in Ohio history. Does it give DeWine an advantage here, or do you find that people have questions about it?
Well, I believe people do have a lot of questions. Why did they move here? Why is it costing Ohioans, working class Ohioans, billions of dollars that they're going to have to pay because of all the perks that was given to Intel for moving into the state? You know, if you live in Williams County up in northwestern Ohio, you're going to pay some of that bill. Do you think Intel is going to, make your life better or more prosperous? Absolutely, it is not. So, you know, I know they're touting that as a big win for Ohioans. Obviously, there's going to be some jobs created out of it within, I don't know, maybe a 50-mile radius around that plant. But beyond that, you know, there's many Ohioans that they don't want to have to pay for these businesses to come to Ohio. Let's change the root cause of why businesses won't move to Ohio, and that's our policy. We have to make our policy friendlier, our tax structure friendlier, and we'll have many businesses, they'll be moving here in mass droves, but that's where it's going to start, in Columbus.
What are you seeing when you talk to people and they tell you what they want in a Republican gubernatorial candidate? What do they want?
You know, well, this is just my opinion. They want somebody that's going to represent them. They want somebody that's going to stand up for their voice. They would like to see the template used out of Florida. People are just on fire, a lot of energy behind what Governor DeSantis is doing in Florida. He's fighting for the people. He's representing. You know, many speeches I give, people come up to me after the fact and say, Joe, you know, we love every single thing that you say. We want you to lead us. And I don't like that word lead. I don't want to be anybody's leader. I want you to hire me. I'm filling out your resume. I want you to look at it. I want you to hire me to represent your voice in Columbus. I want to show that a blue-collar working farmer can go to Columbus and bring the power back to the people where it's been stolen from for decades.
You talked about changing the tax structure and that's really important here, but a lot of your campaign has been about issues like critical race theory, woke propaganda, these sorts of issues that are kind of social issues. What impact do you think that those issues really have on people who want to either stay in Ohio or want to come back to Ohio? And do you think most people view things as you do, or do you think you are speaking for a loud minority?
No, I think there's a big majority of folks that obviously a lot of conservatives that they're not out there being loud because that's not a conservative way. They're kind of quiet. Conservatives, they don't like to fight. They don't like to cause a ruckus like many of these crazy woke leftist organizations. They want to be part of a community, a positive community. They want goodness, they want godliness, and they want to be able to have the I guess the sense that when they send their child to public school, that they're truly getting an education. I believe our public school system have become indoctrination tanks, whether it's the critical race theory or the 1619 project or the SEL or the gender identity that they're pushing. I mean, there's no place for any of this stuff in the school districts. We have 7-year-olds that now you're trying to plant this seed that now they're trying to decide, well, maybe I'm not a boy, or maybe I'm not a girl. Maybe I don't know what I am. I mean, that you're either a boy or a girl. That's the way God intended it. And we should not be planting this seed with these little impressionable minds. What they should be thinking about is what 2 + 2 is, what sound a cow makes, or where their food comes from, or why is the earth round, or why is the sun so hot? I mean, simple things. Let's get back to educating, reading, writing, arithmetic, science, American history. How about let's teach some civics? Let's teach our young children what our flag means, why we flag it, or why we fly it, why we should respect it. Teach them that there's many men and women died so we could have this great free country and have conversations like this. That's what we need to get our public education back to. Good old honest education, and not pushing all these the indoctrination of wokeism.
And you think that's happening? You think that critical race theory is being taught in schools, though it's been reported it's not, and sex education is not being taught to elementary school students? You think it's actually happening?
It is, absolutely. Yes.
I want to ask you if you're concerned that you, Ron Hood, and Jim Renacci, who are all kind of in this lane, could potentially split the anti-DeWine vote, and then DeWine would win.
No, I know my opponent, Jim Renacci, is worried about that. Hey, if he's worried about that, maybe he should drop out. Jim Renacci told me last year if I ever led him in a statewide poll that he would drop out, but I guess his word is not his word because he's staying in this. Actually, I beat him in 2 statewide polls, but here he still is. So I think his ego is too big to do what's best for Ohioans. Last primary, DeWine won 499,000 votes. We know that's pretty nil in this state, considering we have, approximately 1.9 million registered Republicans, 8 million plus independents. So, again, we're in this mess because people don't show up at the ballot box in a primary. Many people that I've talked to all over the state, if they ever show up in a primary, a lot of times it's in a presidential election year, and that's it. So I believe being on the road for over a year, we have inspired a silent majority out here of just good old working class moms and dads and aunts and uncles and grandmas and grandpas that we're eyes wide open right now. They're paying attention. They don't like the path that our country is going, let alone our state. They want our country back. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What you get into life is what you get out of life. So I think I have woken the monster, and I believe they're going to show up on May 3rd, and I believe we will see record-setting participation.
Finally, former President Trump is not endorsed in this race. I think you, Jim Renacci, Ron Hood, were all hoping for that endorsement, and Mike DeWine said he would accept it. Do you feel that it leaves wide open the race, or do you feel it gives DeWine an advantage because he has the name recognition and the money?
No, not at all. We're going to win this regardless of what President Trump does. We have too many people that they try to ride the coattails of President Trump. I don't want somebody to vote for me because President Trump gets behind me. I want you to vote for me because you believe in me. You believe in my policies. You believe that I will go to Columbus and I will work for the people. That's what I want. I want the endorsement from the people. I don't need local mayors or sheriffs or politicians. I want the people's support, because if we can all come together as one people, and we can have some respectful conversation, and I know there's probably issues that we'll never agree on, but there is something in there that we can all agree on, and that's where it starts. Just having that conversation and finding that goodness to bring people together. And if we can come together as one people, the power of the government is over. We can truly get some policy changes done that will make our lives better. But if we go down that same path of voting in more politicians that they're going to these seats to prop up their bank account, their power, and their prestige, we're never going to change anything in this country or this state. And I pray to God that doesn't happen this go around. So, I guess we'll see. May 3rd is in sight, just a few days away. Thank God, because I just need, I need 12 hours off. I need to take a nap. So I appreciate it. I sure appreciate you giving me the opportunity to get on here. And I pray that every single Ohioan falls on their knees and says a little prayer, that God guides them at the voting box, and let's make Ohio great again.